Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boxing Unlimited here once again, and today we're going to discuss the fight, aftermath, of the fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and then Terence Bud Crawford. The fight has come and gone, and I will tell you in no particular order what actually took place in the fight. What remains now is the way and manner in which Crawford achieved the feat. How he was able to beat Canelo, the bigger man, the so-called bigger man, and everything. Having said that, I have to be honest with you, it was a great boxing clinic, to be honest with you. If you look at the face of Crawford after the fight, apart from the accidental headbutt that caused a cut in his face, had no blemish, The way and manner in which he beat him shows you that style makes it fight, and skill pays the bill. What do I have to say again? If you have a look at my previous video that I made before the fight, I said everything there. The manner in which Crawford fought will show you that this guy is a genius. I have to be honest with you. Nobody has beaten Canelo the way Crawford beat him. In fact, if he had wanted, or if the fight would have gone far to 15 rounds as it used to be before, I predict and I say there will be a knockdown or a knockout. Canelo Alvarez was the face of boxing before then. But, I criticize Canelo. I've said so many things about him. The way he selects opponents, picks them up from the lower division, just like Gervonta Davis is doing now, doesn't show any class to me. But at the end of the day, the defeat brought humbled Canelo. He came out and he was obviously touched, and the manner and way in which he had answered questions presented by reporters shows that he's a humble guy, he's a classy guy, no doubt about that. But coming to the fight proper, as I said before, everything is done and dusted, but what remains is the way and manner in which Crawford made the fight look easy. It is the style we talked about. We talked about having a distance against, controlling a distance, creating a distance, space and gap. It was a weapon for success for both fighters, so to say. People argue that on the inside, Canelo has a very good left hook. I said it as well, there's no doubt about that in my mind. But the way and manner in which Crawford defended that left hook to the body shows the kind of boxer he is. Crawford is arguably the best fighter in this generation, no doubt about that. And whether he can beat, if they had met, he can beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. is another question altogether. It's something we'll have to deal with later on. But in this case, Canelo had slowed down. I said it was the best time to fight Canelo. Nobody believed me. People said Canelo was the bigger man. Crawford is coming from two weight down. It's coming up to super middleweight from light middleweight. That is going to be a problem. He said people said so many things, which I cannot recreate in this video, which is even unnecessary. But the fact remains that the styles make fight and skill pay the bill. Crawford even admitted that he had from round 9, he wanted to push up and see if he can knock Canelo out. But his trainers, his corner didn't allow him to do. They kept shouting, "Stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan," you know. And that reminded him they had a game plan. But we know that game plans, once you hit, it goes out to the window, and everything becomes different. But in this case, because of the lateral movement of Crawford, Canelo was not able to land his big punches. I said Canelo loads up when he fights, and that is true. Devo, who had defeated Canelo previously, said the same thing. Well, the way, the manner in which Crawford controlled the fight from the beginning of the fight, without wasting time, without downloading much, shows the kind of adaptability and adjustment that Crawford has in his retinue. Having said that, I have to be honest with you, it was a great fight. It was called the fight of the century, and that is what it turned out to be. A lot of people, nobody ever believed so many people didn't believe Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez the way he did. You know, some people said he would knock him out, but I said in my video again, I also said Canelo has a neck as a bull, and for you to knock him out, you must check his head. But Canelo, we saw that Crawford caught him in the later rounds and even wobbled him a little bit, but Canelo was there fighting. Canelo is a great fighter. I'm not going to take anything away from him. But against Crawford, we saw another kind of Canelo. Excuse me. Crawford showed that he's one of the greatest boxers ever in this life. Nobody has won the undisputed title in a 4-weight regime, in a 4-weight period. Won 3 times. Light welterweight, was undisputed. Welterweight at 147, it was undisputed. And at 158, without any rehydration clause, you have to bear that in mind. When Mayweather was fighting, he had that clause. If you compare them with to Crawford, you see that Crawford wanted to beat Canelo at his best. Wasn't going to take anything, no gift, nothing. He just wanted to beat him and show the world, because a lot of people still doubt him. Whether they still do now after this Canelo fight is something I won't tell. But I've always had respect and the knowledge that Terence Bud Crawford is a magic man. He's a very good boxer, extremely very good boxer. A lot of people do not praise him for that, but I do. Having had a look at the fight and the way the fight went, I'm surprised to see that Canelo came out the way he came, to greet Crawford and talk to him, and even answered questions and said, when they asked him what was the problem he had fighting Crawford, he said everything. He said his body couldn't allow him, because I talked about the wear and tear. Even though Canelo is younger than Crawford, Crawford is still undefeated, as we can see, because of the manner and way in which he fights. In fact, nobody believed or nobody had Crawford as one of the best fighters in the world until he stopped Spence. It was after that Spence fight that people started believing. But I had known from the day I saw him fight Ricky Burns in Scotland. He was about one of the best boxers ever. When he fought in Dogo, it was something else. You know, when he fought Gamboa, it was rocked, staggered, and wobbled. But he still came out to knock him out at the end of the fight. Crawford is a very slow starter, but he didn't start slow against Canelo because of the magnitude of the fight. You know, having said that, I have to be honest with you. Crawford is the best boxer now, the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. And I think if you ask me what is open for him now, I will tell you immediately that the best thing for Crawford to do is either come down to middleweight and take the title and make himself undisputed there once again, which I know he can do, but it all depends on him. You know, he said he was going to talk to his team, to his family, and see what is available for him next. But to be honest with you, Crawford is the best fighter in the world in this generation. Not because of this win, but because of the way he fights, the style, the way he manages the ring, creates openings, you know, manages the gap, manages the space, and the kind of punches he delivers. He's a southpaw, whether in southpaw position, orthodox position, Crawford remains the best. You know, the power, he's got power as well. People talked about the power of Canelo being the ultimate thing. That Crawford, because Crawford is coming from the weight 2 weights below, that is going to constitute a problem for him, but he never did. He managed it very well, and they got a win. For me, I think Crawford is the best of the best, the boss of all bosses, so to say. You know, having said that, my time is up. I'll see you again. I'm going to do another video